Occasionally at SoStocked, we'll get the question, why are my FBA days in SoStocked different than the FBA days showing up in Seller Central? Well, the answer is actually very simple. It just has to do with a couple of things. Number one, and the most obvious reason, is the forecasting itself. Seller Central, they're using some kind of an algorithm to figure this out. It's an average of the last so many days based on marketplace. I actually don't know the exact formula, and of course Amazon very rarely tells us exactly what their algorithm formulas are, but I can tell you that in SoStocked it might differ slightly based on what you're using to calculate your adjusted velocity. So for this particular product, we're looking at the last 180 days, which is 6 months, and we're averaging out all 7 of these periods to get an average adjusted velocity of 30.6 sales per day, which leaves us at about 75 days worth of inventory. Now, here you can see on our inventory timeline, this is the projected sales based on that average of 30.61 sales per day. Based on the current inventory that we have at Amazon FBA, it's going to be about 75 days. Now, of course, as soon as you start turning on some of these additional forecasting tools, that's going to change, right? So if I expect my sales to grow by 10% and I added that in here, of course, that's going to change my velocity. It doesn't change my inventory levels, so that's going to lower my days of FBA inventory. And then if I scroll back over to Seller Central, of course, these two numbers won't match. So you have to make sure that you're comparing apples to apples, and you're looking at a forecast that is equivalent to the forecast that that you're getting from Seller Central. And as I said before, we don't know exactly what their formula is, but that's one reason why it could be a little bit off. The other reason just has to do with the time of day that we're pulling the data. So we pull all of this data, the inventory levels, typically from 12 a.m., which is midnight Pacific Standard Time, to about 3 a.m. Pacific Time. Why Pacific Time? Well, that's what Amazon gives us. I guess their headquarters are located in Seattle, Washington, so Pacific Time. Now, you do have the option to go over here to Settings and go to Inventory Settings and choose a second API pull at any time of the day. No matter where you're located on planet Earth, you can go click here and calculate your own time zone and figure out what time of day you want to do this second API pull. And then just save that. And then what I would recommend is logging into SoStocked and then coming and doing all of your work right after the inventory and API data has been updated. But anyway, those are the two main reasons why your FBA days might differ between SoStocked and Amazon.